I think the One Piece live action, I can't believe I'm saying this, broke the curse.
Yes, sir.
I can't believe I'm saying this. I really thought it was going to be another shitty, not shitty, but I thought it was going to be pretty mediocre. And it didn't just not be shitty, but it proved to be watchable and enjoyable. I really liked it. I'm very surprised I'm saying that. I think One Piece, and I think you agree with me, is an anime that's probably one of the hardest animes to do a live action for when you compare it to stuff like Death Note or stuff like Cowboy Bebop. Yet, this is the best live action we've ever had. And it's surprising to me, and I think overall it's pretty damn good.
But I watched the first 2 episodes twice. Once without you and once with you. And I'm sorry still about that.
Fucking broke like a bitch.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it. I wanted, as soon as 3 a.m. came on August 31st, I had to watch it. And that first episode alone, I looked at my girl and I was like,
Episode 2?
Yo, this was kind of naughty.
I think they really did a good job with the introduction. Very good job with that.
Yo, yeah, but I think, and this is me getting ahead of myself, but like I just thought, so when I was watching it, I thought maybe I'm liking it because I'm like a One Piece fan, and so it's really hitting, those chords for me. But I think everyone in the room had the same reaction when we got to episode 3. I'm skipping ahead a lot. We're gonna go back to the beginning, but it was that moment that made me go, yo, this is a show. Was just Usopp on the floor saying, no one believes me. Camera turns around, I believe you, Kobe. And I was like, yo, we got it, but this is actually legit. This is a good show. I'm binging it. And we could have binged the entire rest of it because we were just, I think that's when we were all hooked.
Yeah, it hooked us because I wanted to know what's going to happen next because it wasn't following the same exact the same exact plot as the One Piece in manga and anime. So it hooks you because you know the base concept, you know what's going to happen kind of, but you don't know how they're going to do it. So that was really excellent job for anime watchers and manga enjoyers of the series to be like, oh, what the fuck? What's going to happen?
Yeah. I think that's the beauty of having somebody, I believe the guy's name is Matt Owens, the showrunner of the show.
Yes.
Having somebody who's legitimately a One Piece fan, of someone like he's talked about it multiple times, how big of a One Piece fan he is. And like for years has been the most massive fan of it. But at the same time, he's a legit producer. He's a legit showrunner. Like he also knows
how to film
this
a TV
process.
show.
Exactly. And I think that's like the best marriage because fans should never, the solely fans, I mean, like me and you, we should not probably be touching making a One Piece show. We think we know what we're doing, we don't, right?
No.
So having somebody who kind of is like that perfect marriage of the two was the best idea. And obviously this first season was definitely not perfect by any means. I don't think you're giving it a 10 out of 10.
No,
right?
I have definitely a lot of things I want to talk about that make it short of a perfect 10 out of 10.
Yeah, right. But still, it was still way better than anybody intended. It was 8 hours of just good anime live action of adaptation, and kudos to Matt Owens for doing everything that he could do. What was the other guy's name? I'm looking it up right now. Stephen Maeda, Stephen, whatever his name. Also the other showrunner, who probably has a little bit more experience on the show running side. Well, probably Matt Owens has a little bit more the One Piece, whatever. I don't care. It doesn't matter. They did a great job. Majority of the cast killed it. Set designers killed it. For what it's worth, we literally just saw One Piece in live action. Something that we maybe 2-3 years ago, 5 years ago, none of us would have ever been like, it's possible.
No, hell no.
But they made it possible.
I think why they've killed it on the set design, the casting, the cinematography, choreography, all of it is because I do genuinely believe the entire supporting cast and cast of this show had passion for this. It really does feel like a passion project. You can tell people really care about it. I mean, there's interviews out with the cast right now on several of Netflix's social media accounts, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, of them just doing games together or talking about the show. And you genuinely feel like, and maybe they're really good actors and they're fooling me, but it genuinely feels like they really care about One Piece, especially Iñaki. Iñaki got to meet Oda And he was on the verge of tears, just like being told by Oda that like, I really think that you embody Luffy and you were the one that I wanted to play this, and I'm so grateful for you doing it. You can tell that he was choking up a bit, like, oh my god, like I'm actually doing something so special for the fan base and something that I've always wanted to do. So the fact that you have people who care about it, and I don't know if any other project had people who cared about it. I don't know if Cowboy Bebop and all the others had that same kind of passion, but it translates well in One Piece. People care, and they put genuine effort to make sure they write a good series. Whether you're an anime fan or not, I think you can tell that it's something that people really cared about, and they're not half-assing it for a quick payday. So, Congratulations to everyone there. I want to give the biggest ups to them. You did something that I cannot imagine was easy at all. Like you said, set directors, casting, everybody was amazing. Now, obviously, I just want to quickly go over just the bad stuff before I get into the good stuff, because I don't want to end the video of complaining, because I do think it's a good series. I do think, unfortunately, there's some bad stuff. I think the number one thing that I hated the most, and I think it resonated a lot with our watch party, it came up multiple times again and again, is Garp and the plot B of the One Piece series. Every character, for the most part, felt good. They felt real. They felt true to the character. Luffy wasn't 100% Luffy, but he had the essence of Luffy. He had like spirit. I feel that is like another version of Luffy. I understand. I feel it. Zoro was great. Sanji was great. I really did like these characters. But Garp never felt like Garp. I never once felt like I was watching Garp. It felt like this weird, construed version where like it's this weird Garp that's obsessed with capturing Luffy, and for some reason he's failing to do so, which we know in reality, if he really wants to do it, he could fucking do it. This is Garp we're talking about. And I hate that the buyout, the excuse at the end of the series is he tells Luffy, I was just testing you, want to make sure you're ready for the pirate world. It's like, what? Like, Garp doesn't want him to become a pirate. Why would he be testing him to make sure he's a good pirate? That makes no, like, I hate that. I didn't like that at all. That was dumb.
I think the real highlight of all of that was, because every time they cut to that was just always like ruining the pacing of the show. Like I think me and you were complaining OD when like that game was happening, the Go game. Yeah. Like, why? Garp wouldn't do this. Garp would be punching ships.
Literally.
Like, with Kobe.
He's not trying to say that he probably game, bro.
Yeah. I'm not saying that he should be punching ships in the live action, but like maybe some other kind of alternative. But like just something that like just something else, because that was really like messing up the vibe. And I think the only I just really didn't like Garp. That's what it was, just Garp. Because like at that last episode, episode of the show, when I saw Kobe and Helmeppo like become friends, and on top of that, like just seeing that evolution of Kobe in which he stepped up to Garp and saying, "Yo, I'm not going to arrest Luffy." I was like, I saw why they did this, because by all means, Kobe is the Luffy in the Marines. He's the one who's really he's the good Marine, the one good Marine in the sea of bad Marines. And like Luffy's the one good pirate in the world of horrible pirates. So like they're both started together, like started from the bottom. And by the end of the show, I'm assuming they're going to be the new generation Gold Roger and the new generation Garp, you know, back when they were the two dudes going at it, the one good pirate, the one good Marine. So like seeing that is having a show that is like we're seeing both journeys at the same time, as opposed to the anime and the manga, where after Kobe dipped, he dipped. Like we didn't see him for 300 chapters, and then we didn't see him again for another 200 chapters.
Yeah, we only got content from the covers.
We got content from cover stories, but like even with that, I think did a much better job of showing that evolution in Kobe. And I have a firm belief that Kobe will probably will stick around as a main cast member.
I mean, they're really hinting at it so far,
Yeah, so like, because he really stuck around. He's the only part of the main cast. Like, he's listed as main cast member for the show. So, and Helmeppo isn't, funny enough, even though they had like every scene together. So
he's not listed as main cast? That's kind of fucked.
I don't know. That's horrible.
It's a big part of it.
Even Helmeppo is much more fleshed out in this. Just crazy.
I think it's hard for me because I understand the vision of having those two plot lines, those kind of two foils of characters. But I just really don't like how they did it. Because I do think, okay, let me put it like this: you have 8 episodes, right, to tell everything that happened in the East Blue before the Grand Line. It's a lot. It's a lot that fucking happens. And that's another issue I have with the series, is that even if you're not an anime watcher, it is really quickly paced. Backstories don't live that long, so you really can't sit down and really appreciate the moment that Sanji had with Zeph. You can't really sit down and appreciate Belmare. I felt like Belmare felt like an afterthought in the backstory. It just felt kind of
it was so bad.
Yeah, it
wasn't
so good.
Bad.
So you have
her name is Belmare? I thought her name was Bellamere.
No, I think it's pretty just Belmare, no? Well,
we're
thinking the same character regardless. That motherfucker. So the problem is you have 8 episodes to really condense this story, so your pacing is fucking crazy. And they got it done. I think it could have been way better paced. But as someone who watched the anime and read the manga, it's not the end of the world for me. And I think the problem is, because you have this really high paced shit, it makes it so much worse to have a complete other side plot line that is not fast paced. So you have the Garp, Helmeppo, and Kobe plot line, and I understand why they did it. However, in my opinion, I feel like they didn't really add much to their story. It felt like they were always just cutting to them at sea, or having a convo, or playing a game of Go. Like, it didn't feel like nothing was really progressing. And I get mad because every time we cut to that, I feel like you're taking away the main story from me. A second ago, I just saw, Zoro cutting down Mr. 7. I was like, oh shit, oh my god, what a fucking introduction, let's go. And then we cut back to that, I'm like, I don't fucking care about Garp and fucking Kobe right now, because I know they're just gonna talk, and I don't want to hear a conversation. Like, fuck all that. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
So I felt like a slow-moving plot and a high, fast-paced moving plot, and I feel like they just didn't do the Kobe stuff justice. I feel like what they could have done is, in the cover stories have, I don't know if you read this, but the cover stories...
Oh, yeah, they kept the accent and stuff.
Yeah, how come that wasn't, that's a whole plot line you could have done there.
I saw this review from Grand Line Review. I get the point. I couldn't really understand why Axan was really all that bad and needed to be arrested in this. I get it. He's not. I know he's not the greatest person, but I don't think he did enough to warrant they're peeing on the cross. I was even when I watched it, I was like, wait, what did he do? I know he's bad in the manga, which would mess him up in the manga, but here, I get it. He's not the greatest guy, but it's not like he's completely messed up.
Yeah.
So that was an issue, but I think no matter what, I think one of the greatest changes, and I'm going back to this point, don't get me wrong, they really made sure to give this longer presence to Arlong, right? They wanted to make Arlong not just the villain of the Arlong Park segment, but the main villain of the East Blue. Yeah, right? Just like how Crocodile kind of is the main villain, even though his presence is not there for all of the Alabasta saga. So, and I love that. And that was great, but I think what could have been maybe better implemented there was that the Marines, because by the end of the season, you hear Garp is talking about how he heard that there's a lot of talking or rumblings of Arlong being,
in the
people are talking about Arlong. People are saying that the fishermen are here. What's up with that? And I think it would have been a much better plot if he saw that sideline is that's where maybe Arlong and Garp are running into each other, and and plot B, and they're dealing with that, and then that's when he sends what is that guy's name? Nezuko, the mouse dude.
Nezumi,
yeah. He sends Nezumi over to go check it out, right? Because he saw fishermen here, he got a lead or something, but he's so focused on Luffy that he wants to send somebody else to go after that.
Yeah. Didn't it feel weird how he quickly just this diminished it? Fishman out, there's fishermen here. Hey, well, whatever. I'm still gonna go after Luffy. It just felt kind of what the fuck? Why would you?
Yeah, 100%. I'm just saying that you have so many more scenes with Arlong in it now. So what's the issue with probably having more in it where that's where the Marines are getting involved? So that way you give them something to do, and it's still the same big bad at the end of the day.
Yeah, no,
because
that's
if you
fair.
have if you have that side plot of Axan Morgan, then I don't really see how that really ties into the main like plot of the show. Like plot B still needs to be relevant to plot A at the end, like by the conclusion of it. So that was a perfect way to do that, but I don't know what happened there. Like
it's weird.
This wasn't the way to do it.
No, I see the vision. I think it's really creative to do that parallel between Kobe and Luffy, but I think you could have definitely done a lot better. I rewatched the Syrup Village episodes, which I really liked a lot. I did like the retake of Syrup Village. Is one of the biggest positives I think in the series, and how it became
100%.
like this haunted mansion, not haunted, but this horror mansion thing at the end. I like that a lot. Captain Crew was amazing, but rewatching, I really thought to myself, I don't know. I don't really kind of fuck with this whole like Kobe showing up at Syrup Village. It kind of felt like it just didn't have much going for it. Like the beauty was that Luffy was telling Kobe, you're gonna have to let me go. I did like that part a lot. Like, you're gonna have to let me go because my friends are in danger. Kobe let him go. But I don't know. Like everything else around that, I think was kind of just like, it didn't give me much. Especially when Garp said the lesson learned here is to have a plan B, and it's like it's.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
Like, that was the whole point of this whole mission to go to Syrup Village to teach him to have a backup plan. What the fuck?
Right.
I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb.
So dumb.
Maybe it's just one of those things that like I got stupid hype for at the beginning. But I don't know if like a rewatch, but with a more critical eye would make me think differently.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When I rewatched it, I was like, it's kind of weird. Like Kobe like showing up here, it didn't feel right.
Yeah. I'm scared of that, by the way. I'm scared this is gonna be one of those things that we feel really positive now. But like, what if like by like 2 or 3 years from now, we're all like, listen, guys, it actually wasn't that great.
Well, I don't know, because for me, I think I'll be all right because I don't have it like I don't have it even at 9 or 10. Like it truthfully, my rating is a 7 out of 10. So I feel like it's gonna live to a 7. Yeah, like I think it stays at 7. I don't think I'll rewatch and be like, damn, this shit's mid as fuck. I don't think I'm gonna say that.
Yeah,
I genuinely did enjoy it.
I give it an 8, and the reason why is that it was such an odd situation for me when I was watching the One Piece show. There were so many moments that I was like, really?
Like you mean the anime?
Yeah, no, the live action.
Oh, okay.
Especially like towards like those last 2 episodes when they're in Arlong Park, and I was like, that doesn't feel like a good decision, or like that was kind of weird, right? Like, I had a lot of those moments, and yet I still was like, by the end of it, I was like, I need season 2.
Isn't that weird? Like I feel the same way. I don't remember the last TV show I watched where there's multiple moments where I'm like, I don't know about that, or like, oh, okay, and I still go, can't wait for the next episode, and I click the next episode, excited to see what's gonna happen next. It's like I think they do a good job of making you wonder, okay, what are they gonna do next? Because I know the source material. How are you gonna change it up for the next episode? Which I think is really interesting, because maybe there's a universe where they stay true to the manga, and we still go, I don't know about that, and then when you hit next episode, you get bored because you're like, I know exactly what's gonna happen. So maybe the saving grace for the show is that they do change it up a little bit.
Yeah, I personally think the saving grace of it. I mean, on top of that, because I think you brought up a good point, that just really goes to show you how strong the Straw Hat casting is.
Yes,
because every time that they interact with each other, I'm like,
dude, it made me miss the anime days when they used to like all hang out. Like it really made me want to rewatch early One Piece. I really miss crew interactions. And I was like, fuck, I love this, man.
Because you know what, the moments when I finished the show, what were the moments that I rewatched right after that? Like I was like, oh, I gotta go back to that moment. Was the simple moment, especially my favorite scene in the entire show. I don't know about you, you probably agree, maybe, was when Sanji takes their order at the Baratier. Like, and
that shit was hilarious. Yeah,
all 5 of them are just chiming in with like exactly what makes them who they are.
Yeah,
like Sanji's flirting. Zoro's like,
he's like, what the fuck? Yeah,
give me a drink. And then Usopp's like, give me.
I usually do 2.
I usually get 2 or 3, but right
now I only feel 1.
Yeah, like, and then like fucking Luffy just paying with IOU. It was
then Luffy asking for milk also. Nami saying
milk. Yeah.
Nami saying get him water, and then Sanji's like making it extra as like sparkling tap. Yeah, like ice, no ice, like just that. Like I was like, this is so true. This is what would happen.
Yeah, those moments, honestly, like I didn't even care about what made this whole like even maybe bad. Those are the moments that I was like,
100%.
I will eat this up
No, yeah.
Like it was like watching No Way Home, remember? And like
Mm-hmm.
all those scenes of the three Peters together, you're like, oh,
And like fuck me, I could watch
this
so
is-
many hours of this.
yeah, I could watch an entire fucking show
I feel
of
you.
this. Like,
It's like also you remember when Zoro was talking to Nami, and they did the shot for shot kind of game. Where
Yes.
it's like, if I'm
Oh
wrong, I
my.
take a shot. I was like, I need more of that, dude. I love that
Yeah.
type of shit so much. Because I really do feel like if the manga really wanted to do a scene like that early in the days when they were meeting each other, it would make sense.
yeah, and like the moments, even that we were cracking up when Nami's like, yo, can somebody talk to him about what just happened after the grandpa?
Oh, dude.
And then Usopp's like, I just joined, so I barely know the dude. And then Zoro's like, I think he's alright. And then Nami's
I was like, well,
you're
dude,
the first
go
mate.
check.
Go check him up. And he goes, and he's like, you good?
He's like, yeah, you want to talk about it? No. Okay.
No. All right. Talk to you. And then he goes back to Nami. He's like, he's fine.
It's the most real shit, bro. That's 100% Zoro and fucking Luffy, bro. 100%.
I was that again. Those moments, bro. Those were what I was waiting for. And I think one of the most beautiful things of the live action too is that because they have the context of everything that happens in the future, they can feel a lot more freedom in what they can mention and what they can do. Like that's probably the reason why Dom Krieg was barely in it, because everyone knows he has no purpose, right? In the grand scheme of One Piece.
Yeah.
So I love those moments where they can freely like mention, let's say Baroque works, Noland, right? Like they can mention these
sick.
things because they know the full scope of One Piece. And on top of that, one of my favorite freaking things that they did that I think added a lot more depth to Luffy as a character this early on was those moments when he was getting called out as a captain.
Oh no, yeah, that was really good because I think in One Piece you don't really see the lack of experience from Luffy until probably like Sabaody, right?
Water 7.
Or even no,
I'll say
actually no,
Water
Water 7.
7.
No, good point. Yeah, actually Water 7's a better
Yeah.
better example when you start seeing it.
Yeah.
We really don't start questioning. Oh shit, like yeah, Luffy's kind of new at this. He doesn't know what he's quite doing. He's just kind of hoping it works out. And it's really
For sure.
dope that the live action was like realistically in real life, it probably would happen a lot earlier, like in the first couple days of them becoming a crew. And it's really dope, like you said, that both people questioning like what he was doing. And even I think one of the most underrated moments is when Zoro gets slashed and Nami and Usopp are trying to find out how to help him. He's kind of like zoning out because it's really starting to dawn on him like I might lose a crew member, and I've only been doing this for like a week now.
But it was because of his decision too.
Yeah.
Because I love that. That didn't happen, I think, in the manga. I could be wrong. I don't remember maybe. But like that moment, like was right before when Nami was like, can you tell him not to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is the stupidest. And she's right. She's correct. This is the stupidest thing Zoro could be doing. Luffy, you're his captain. Stop him. And Luffy is like, gotcha. That's like his first real dilemma. Because on one hand, this is Zoro's dream.
Yeah. Who am I to stop
Zoro's
it?
dream might kill him.
Yeah.
And so Luffy's like what matters more to him, and that you can see in his eyes, like that moment of like, I'm really weighing on this.
Because
Like-
it's a moral dilemma because Luffy's ready to die for his dream. He says multiple times, if I die becoming Pirate King, I'm ready for it. And
I'm
then
ready.
seeing someone else do it, that's his crewmates, like, okay, am I a hypocrite if I stop him? Or do I just need to like put aside my goals and make sure my friend is safe? What do I value more, the safety of my crew members or making sure my crew members achieve what they want to in life? It's this weird, like, fuck, what do I do? And I don't, it's perfect. It's something that I think that Luffy should have, had a problem with, like you said, earlier on in the series.
Yeah, this is where I think this is where the live action really shines, bro. Like those moments that they added were what really just like that, because obviously Luffy deciding, yes, Zoro, do it, is what obviously makes Zoro want to be his first mate. Like Luffy listening to himself and being like, I know how dangerous this is. He should do it. But like, and obviously we saw how it was close to being dead in the show. Me and you were both complaining. Everyone was complaining that there was not enough blood for us to believe it, that he was dying.
I mean, I have a whole gripe with that fight in general. It didn't feel as strong in the manga, but regardless, yeah.
Yeah. But nonetheless, like, that moment, like, and he was like, when he sat beside Zoro, and that he was also kind of doubting himself as well there. And then he sees that he made the right decision when Zoro woke up, and me and you were both saying that even that conversation when he woke up, we wish that was in the manga also. Like him also kind of adding on to it, because in the manga, the only moment that we had was when he raised his sword in the air, and he's like Luffy, I vow to be your swordsman. Like, I'm gonna join your crew.
Yeah.
But then that extra layer of conversation that he had afterwards when he woke up
was really mature. It was perfect. Because I think Oda did a great job in the manga. I mean, I felt something when I first saw that scene, because, you know, Zoro's crying, saying, I'll never lose again. And Luffy's like, of course, like, you know, I believe in you as my first mate. You know, that's great. But in retrospect, you realize, like, it's kind of weird how Luffy just kind of smiles it off, and Zoro just passes out, and then we just move on, like, Zoro will probably be alright. But in the live action, like you said, it does a good job that it adds more to it. We need to really treat this as what it is. This man almost died. Like, it's more serious than Luffy just going, yeah, like, of course, man, like, you live your dreams, I'll live mine. It's a lot more serious than that. This man almost died, and we need to address that.
It's a serious situation.
It made me feel more confident for if we ever get to Water 7, by the way. And, you know, the whole Usopp Luffy argument. Made me feel confident this team can definitely deliver on that scene.
That would be so sick. If they can obviously get to that. If we can get to that point. But I was going to mention also that that having Sanji and Zeph also kind of step in also with like taking care of Zoro. Also really big to me. I love that. But seeing Zeph have a continued presence in the series was also another highlight for me, because
huge.
Like, as much as we didn't like Garp in this series, I think one of the standout scenes to me in the show was when Garp came to visit Zeph, and the two of them sat down for a drink, and it was like two old heads talking about the good old days, and like and Zeph, I truly believe that Garp was ready to arrest Luffy, to be honest with you, and it wasn't until his conversation with Garp when Garp was like, yo,
I mean, Zeph,
me and you, our generation's done.
Yeah.
This is the new generation, and they're about to pick up. Like, we got to start really having faith in these dudes.
Yeah.
And I think that was one. Love that conversation. Seeing that, also, I kind of wish I was in the manga, having a conversation between those two old heads like that, like talking about like, the good old days, but like honestly, but that conversation really early on, that this is the next generation, because I don't think we had that kind of setup about the next generation. Like, that conversation until like way later also. Probably also Water 7 or maybe Sabaody more so.
I think more so Sabaody is because that's the first time the worst generation even got mentioned.
Yeah, and then Rayleigh is kind of talking about it a lot too. Yeah, like, well, obviously Shanks kind of literally bet on the next generation.
Yeah, but we didn't really talk about that much.
Exactly. But having this conversation earlier on, which is like kind of like a really big like plot point of the entire One Piece series, I love that, bro. No, yeah, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the live action.
I think it was good, and the manga definitely could, you know, eat off that for sure. Like, it'd be great in the manga if it happened. I do feel like, though, in my opinion, it felt a little slow paced of a conversation. I don't know, maybe like if you rewatch it, if you'll feel the same way I do, but good convo. It just felt a little bit slow. Like in the manga, obviously, or the anime, I feel like it'd just be one scene and done. And in the manga, we cut in and out of it, I think 3 times. And it's like, this doesn't have to be that long. It's a conversation. Like, it's a good one, and I want to live in it, but I hate that I'm coming back and into it 3 times. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you feel like scenes that have no basis in the manga, like, were slow in general?
I think either slow is what I'm thinking, or they cut in and out too much. Just live in it. Like just deliver it.
How do you feel about like Arlong checking in on Buggy, for example?
That was good in my opinion. That didn't feel slow at all. Yeah. That was a good idea. I have that in my notes also. I think the Arlong Buggy combo was a genius idea, because if Arlong, like you said, is his big bad villain, the East Blue, he really should be able to control any pirate he wants and make them do whatever he wants. So that was really good. I did like especially the ear segment.
Dude,
in the
that
hat.
Was crazy.
I was like, that was a genius use of the power. Oh my god, like holy fuck!
I didn't remember to myself, how does Arlong know that? Yeah. Like what? Mm-hmm. And then he revealed Buggy, and I was still saying, I was asking
I don't get it.
Okay, how does Buggy know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get. Yo, that reveal, I was
fucking.
That's
amazing.
probably the most clever use of his power, including the manga.
No, honestly, like I saw that, I was like, damn, like I think they just went up to Oda on how to use Buggy. Holy fuck, that was fucking genius.
There were definitely moments, and like there were some moments also where they didn't one up, but the moments that they one up Oda, well, I'm sure Oda was like, damn,
insane.
That was nice.
It was fucking well done. I do think what's it called? They built up Arlong a lot better in the live action. Because we know him for a while. He seems like the bigger, badder fucking villain. He's collaborating with others. I do think the fight was not as good as I'd like it to be between Luffy and Arlong, if I'm being completely honest. But I do think the direction they took of him was just fantastic. It was something that I think was better done than Oda and One Piece in the manga, because you and I both know Arlong didn't really show up until it was time for Arlong Park. And it was like, oh, okay, that's the next villain. And we move on. And then we beat him. So then we just keep moving on. It didn't really feel something special. It just felt like the next part of the story. You know?
Yeah.
Also, I did like that they fought twice. It was really nice that Luffy came back and he was like, all right, part 2, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, shit, that's fucking dope. Let's go.
Well, bro, the CGI with the Gum Gum Gatling? Gatling. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Gatling. Gatling gun? Or
like Gatling, like, you know, Gatling gun, Gatling.
Yeah, I know. The full name of the attack, is it just Gatling or Gatling gun?
Just Gatling.
Okay. Well, the Gum Gum Gatling was sick.
Oh, no, it was fucking amazing.
I literally I would have bet money that it would never look good in live action, and that they did it.
And it did.
Because that was just...
It made me think, because remember he hit him against the wall?
Yeah.
It made me think, is this like them showing they can do the Lucci fight? Because I love to see this Lucci, bro.
No, probably.
That's literally how he goes out. So if you guys can do it here, maybe you guys can do it to Lucci too, man.
Yeah. I was going to say that I think one of the smarter things that they did, and this is why I really love early Luffy, because later Luffy doesn't really show this as much. Ever since they introduced hockey and hockey became part of the equation, they would just resort to hockey at the end of the day. But early Luffy would, because he wasn't strong enough a lot of the time, he would resort to like finding other methods of like defeating his enemies.
Yeah.
So like Luffy literally did not get stronger in between the first time and the second time that he fought Arlong. The only difference is that the second time he was aware of his surroundings, and he was like, "Yo, I can't beat you. Then I'm gonna just take down everything. Like, literally just take down the building." And I don't remember it as much in the manga. I don't think that's what happened. They fought outside the majority of the time.
They fought for a good portion outside, and then once Luffy got in the map room, is when he didn't even say like, "I'm just gonna take down everything because I can't beat you." For him in the manga, was more so he was so fucking mad at what he saw in the map room that he was like, "I need to destroy this for Nami." Yeah. Right.
Meanwhile, they changed it up in the anime where it was more so like, I literally can't beat this dude. I wanted to beat this guy. I know what he's done to Nami, and that's why I think it was smarter for Luffy to have heard the story, because in the manga he didn't.
I was gonna ask, how do you feel about that? Because actually, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, I'll actually answer that, because I remember bringing that up. I was like, yo, but Luffy didn't hear the story in the manga. Yeah. But then, you know, my wife Shadia, she was like, okay, that's when she saw me. She's like, let's be for real. That's so dumb. Like, that would be that if that was in live action, he would look like such a dick.
I don't know.
And I
don't know about that.
That's what made me go, that's true.
Like,
there is no way and anime can pass that off as like a really like likable quirk. In live action, if you just, that's something that like if he was just spaced out the entire time, he was like, I don't want to hear this. But it doesn't come off the same.
The thing is though, I think Luffy doesn't do that. It's more so, I think he would say something along the lines of, I don't need to hear
this
story.
Doesn't interest me.
Not even that. It's people like, I don't need to hear the story. I don't need to hear a story to know that Nami needs help. Something like that. I think is more so like how you deliver in live action. Because I think you can definitely do it. I don't think it's that big of a deal, really. I think if Luffy legit said, I don't need to hear a story to know Nami needs help, and just walks away, I think it's very much like, okay, that's just Luffy being Luffy.
Luffy's exact line was, Nojiko says, I'll explain everything.
And he's like, I'm not interested.
And Luffy said, I don't care. I'm not interested in her past.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that actually could be a deliverable line in the live action, in my opinion. Because that's Luffy.
It is Luffy, but I really don't. I completely understand why they just did not do that. Like, I'm struggling to understand how, in live action, anime you can do a lot more. There's a lot of different things that you can do that it comes off more likable. In live action, if a person said that to you, they are a dick. You know that.
I don't know, dude. I feel like it's the same anime or live action that it's perceived like a dick. But if you
especially because
if you know the character, you know it's not him being a dick.
I don't even think I can see Inaki pulling off that line and still being likable. To be honest with you, bro.
And the Inaki version of Luffy, I think, just wouldn't be able to like voice that. But I think, I don't know. To me, it seems like that's just Luffy, so I wouldn't really be fazed by it. But I think Inyaki's character is so goody two shoes ish that it's just not in his DNA. I mean, like it even
the only workaround
to me that like the first thing Inyaki did when he beat Buggy was start to undo the prisoner's chains. I don't know why. Like I know Luffy's a kind person, but to me that felt like a more live action thing to do than the anime.
Yeah.
To see Luffy immediately unchaining prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this is definitely a different Luffy. Not just who has a spirit of Luffy, which is what matters.
No, yeah.
I think him listening, I think him listening really just
solidifies that.
If that's something that I think is tripping up people OD, then I really don't think I really don't think that's going to be one of those things that matters at the end of the day.
No, you're just anal about it. You're a little too anal about being true
to
the source.
Yeah, you have 8 episodes. And to convey this, and like again, maybe that's a fault of just having this show could have been a lot better, maybe with 2 more episodes, right? But like nonetheless, this is a Luffy who was never set up previously to be somebody who wouldn't care, right? Like he very much so is attentive in this series. Yeah. He listens a lot in this series, like, and while he's very aware of people's characteristics, like he kept on saying, "No, Nami's not like that. Nami's not like that." That's very understandable, but like. I just really don't think that that's something that can be translated all too well. And at least with this specific iteration of Luffy, I think it's completely okay if he's listening. Like, I think it's kind of ridiculous to like maybe be this butthurt about that part. Him listening, and then also allowed him to understand how much of a villain like Arlong is in regards to Nami. So they didn't need to create a whole room, like spend budget on a whole map room. Like, I mean, I think they actually did nonetheless, though, right? Didn't they actually?
It was technically a map room.
Oh, right, but it was like more so like
it was this weird tower thing.
That also just happened to have a table for the maps, right? Yeah, that's what it was. So I still think nonetheless it was the same idea, and I think the same. They need to focus on that. Because they could focus more so on like what I like about Luffy is that he does other things to win the fight. Like when we saw Crocodile, when he was fighting Crocodile in the anime, he was using like water or his own blood to defeat. Now everyone's to me, I thought that was so cool, so smart of Luffy. And at least this can showcase that as well. That Luffy cannot beat Arlong. And so what does he do? He just has to use his environment to defeat him. And I love that element of it. And so he still gets the same idea done. Still destroying Arlong Park. With the battle axe.
The battle axe was
I thought
clean.
It looked
good.
sick.
It looked good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I think going back to the Nami point, I think you can get away with either or. I wouldn't be fazed if he was quiet or he wasn't quiet. To me, it's still the same, like kind of the same kind of Luffy energy that you want in the live action. But more importantly, I think people are ignoring the fact that I think the most important part of that Nami arc was done faithfully, and I think that's the most important part. If I saw Luffy come up to Nami when she was stabbing herself and just said, "Please, Nami, like let's talk about this. Like things are gonna be okay," then you're really like moving away from Luffy. I still like that. No matter how many changes they made to Luffy, he still very much made Nami ask for help because he really wanted to hear Nami like admit, like, "Hey, you're my friend, and I need your help." I think that scene was still fucking perfectly done. And another scene, I think
did you tear up?
I did tear up because I remember the anime and I was like, "Fuck!" Like this hitting me just like the anime all over again.
Yeah.
And then also like the guys like posing to fucking head out to the park, like they fucking killed it. That's 1-to-1 with the fucking anime. Yeah. Like, come on. I think. Well, when everyone said yeah. I think a lot of people. It's really underrated how a lot of people forget about that one scene where Luffy's talking to Zoro, and Zoro was trying to tell him like, "Yo, let up. She's clearly not on pirate. Like, why are you so hung up on this?" Like, well, at one point in Zoro, you even said no, and look where you are now. And I was like, fuck, I don't know, that to me just like feels like not something that I think maybe anime Luffy would say, but something live action Luffy said that made me go like, I fucking love this Luffy. That line delivery, I was like, fuck me, that's so good. And you can tell like he struck a chord with Zoro and like convinced him. So I think, you know, despite the little differences here and there, at the end of the day, they get the same job done of, like you said, capturing the essence of Luffy. And I think in the Nami section, they did a wonderful job with it. It felt like genuinely another take on what Luffy would do in Arlong Park.
These are just different. This is an alternate universe.
No, literally.
But by all means, the R2 Luffy's, manga, anime Luffy, and live action Luffy would still be best friends. Like, they would still like be like,
100%.
This is my guy.
Yeah.
It's not like Goku and Dragon Ball Evolution Goku. Like, they would.
Goku would call him a fucking pussy, bro. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit, bro. I hate you. Get away from me. Ill.
Oh my god. God, I had so many notes. I have Hamapo wearing Puma sneakers in the first episode.
I forgot about the Pumas. That's so funny. Did you feel like, to me, I think all the crew members were great. I think the least good one, which I hate to say it, was Nami. I think I don't know maybe if this is a hot take or not, but I do feel like Nami was a little less charismatic as the anime manga version of her. I feel like there was so much just serious Nami all the time. I feel very few times I saw a whimsical thief like, you know, Nami.
But that's how I thought about Zoro. In my
Zoro made sense.
Still liked him.
Zoro made sense to me. I was okay with that. That made sense to me.
I still like. All right, I still liked everyone. Like, I don't hate anybody. The only casting decisions that I hate are people that are outside of the Straw Hats. So when I say that Zoro, I don't like Zoro all that much. I still
you're not saying you hate him, yeah.
Makenyu, yeah, as Zoro. He was a little bit too stoic to me, too often.
Mm-hmm.
And like I literally rewatched One Piece like with my girl. Like, I remember watching these episodes. Zoro was not like this serious.
No.
And the only reason why I'm okay with Nami more is because, like, she obviously, at least in East Blue, was obviously really traumatized and has a lot of baggage. And I think Emily Rudd was showing that really well. And
yeah,
as soon as they took care of Arlong, a lot of that got lifted.
Did you feel that way?
I'm curious to see how they do. I'm curious to see how they do it in season 2.
I don't know. I feel like
we didn't see that much time.
I feel like we didn't see that much of her, to be honest. But after Arlong, I still feel like the same Nami. I don't know. I kind of want more of the whimsical, I'm a thief and I want to steal from people, kind of like, you know, Nami. I want that. Also, I thought it was really funny, by the way. Kind of a tangent. I really thought to myself, there's no fucking way they could show, kind of like similar to the Luffy scene where he walks away saying nothing and everyone think you're a dickhead. There was no way they could show the scene where Nami robs the village on the way out and not seem like a dickhead. Because you know in the anime, when Nami leaves, she steals everything one last time.
Yeah.
If they did that in the live action, dude, oh my god, it'd be so bad.
You see, this is why like some of these character changes had to happen, man. Like
it'd be so
I
funny.
really don't think if Luffy said, like, Inoji goes like, let me explain to y'all. Like, and Luffy said,
I don't care.
Yeah, and I like, that's crazy. But even with other things too, like if turning Sanji into a flirt, so much better than him being a Sen.
A lot of people who never watched One Piece, I saw on Twitter saying, "Oh my god, I fucking love Sanji," and so many anime and manga watchers legit commented saying, "Listen, I'm glad you like him. Maybe stop right here. If you get into the anime manga, you might start hating him."
It's a downward slope because he's not like this.
He's so much more smoother, dude.
Yeah. And the beauty about this guy, Jacob Gibson as Usopp, was that he's still very much still a liar, but it's the same kind of lies, bro. Usopp in the manga would lie all the time too, but I hated him in the manga.
Yeah.
Like him, whenever Jacob Gibson was lying, I was like, oh, Usopp.
Oh, speaking of the crew, by the way, I did like the twist that Nami didn't want to leave the Baratier. She stayed. And the only reason why she left was because Arlong showed up and she protected Luffy. That, to me, kind of was like a good change because it shows how much she started caring for the crew. Because it was what?
She was going to leave. Like, remember that night after the game with Zoro? Like, she literally went to the dude and was like, hey, yeah, can I book up? Can I book passage?
100%. But it was nice to see her show some reservation. And be like,
yeah.
Because she was about to go on the ship with Guy, and then she turned back around. So it's nice to show that, to be like, to showcase she really does care about these guys. Because in the manga, it's so hard to believe it at one point. I remember the first time I ever watched One Piece as a kid. To me, I really did feel like Nami was a piece of shit. And I really thought, like let her go, bro. Like, she doesn't care about you. Right. So I did like how the live action really cemented to you, like, she's doing something she really does not want to do. Kind of how we got Nico Robin in Water 7. We kind of start finding out later that she doesn't want to be doing this. I did like how they showed in the live action. Very obviously, she definitely wants to stay with the crew, and she cares about them. And I think she even says, while Zoro's knocked out, something about, like, everyone I'm with, I always hurt, or something like that. Some line that really indicated, like, I need to leave before I get you guys hurt.
Oh yeah. And
I was like, I like that. I like that she really is, like, showing reservation towards all this. It's really nice.
I completely agree with you. I don't know how you feel. Do you have a least favorite episode?
Least favorite?
Yeah.
Man, the last episode to me was rough because of the Garp segment. Literally, like, everything else, the barrel scene was the best fucking thing in the whole season. The barrel scene made me cry like a bitch because I was like, fuck. I'm remembering when this happened in the anime, and it's hitting so much harder now. Everyone's saying their dreams. But the Garp segment in the last episode really did ruin it for me. I just didn't like how he easily beat Luffy, which makes sense. He would do that in the manga. And then picks up, goes like, well, seems like you're ready to be a pirate to me. All right, boys, let's get out of here. It's like, shut the fuck up. All that whole side plot. Obviously, Kobe grew into a, more of a man. I like that for him. But this whole side plot from the POV of Garp was so fucking pointless. God fucking damn it. And I hated that payoff in the last episode. That was the only episode that I really just left a nasty taste in my mouth.
Which is unfortunate since it's the last episode.
Yeah. But then the barrel scene saved it, obviously, so that was good.
Of course, at least it had a good ending. Yeah. So, like, it's not like it was a complete waste. I can see that. I don't blame you for feeling that way. I have a hot take because I've heard everyone online say really great things. I don't care. Like, I like what they did with the season long aspect of this character, but like episode 2, that buggy episode, did really not much for me.
What happened in that episode? Like, where they got captured?
The clown, the circus episode.
Oh, okay.
Like how what they do with Orange Town.
Yeah. I did like him taking the prisoners though. That was a cool aspect.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm not saying it was horrible, like the worst thing I ever saw in my life. Like, but I'm just saying that, like, out of all the episodes, like, that was the one to me. Like, when I rewatched it with you, I was like, oh, God.
You really feeling it?
Like, when I was rewatching Marineford, I was watching Marineford, not rewatching, going through it for the first time with my wife. Like, we skipped every buggy scene.
Wait, really?
Because honestly, even I was getting like, oh my God, skip. Like, I think I like Buggy as a concept, but every time he's on screen,
like, how about,
I don't care.
In the manga, you think he's fine, but in the anime, you can't stand him?
Well, yeah, but you know what? The manga is always gonna be like
exactly. So I'm saying in the manga you can take him because it's like small little pieces of like Buggy, exactly. It's funny, it's Buggy. Yeah, but then the anime, manga Buggy to me is the best. And the TV, and the TV show, you're just like you overstayed your welcome.
I like TV show Buggy more than the anime.
I gotta say, the actor who played Buggy did a really good job in my opinion.
Yeah, he was fine, but
I liked him a lot.
It just does nothing to me. Like, I don't know, that entire episode, and especially, I didn't want to say nothing while we were watching it, like, because that episode, the Buggy episode, was also the flashback of when we see
Luffy,
young Luffy
drowning,
with Shanks. So yeah, this drowning scene. One, I don't get it. Like, I don't think they handle the flashback completely well.
Why?
To be honest with you, I think me and you agree that majority of the flashbacks in the show were just kind of awful. The Sanji one was good, was fine. But like Zoro's,
I know you want to say something, but you don't want to say it at the same time.
Yep. There is something specific about Kuina that we just
probably shouldn't say it. But I feel you. Usopp's mom felt very short-lived. Like he said, I gotta stay here and make sure Dad comes back. And she's like, you're right, and just dies. And
Yes.
fucking what's his face? Nami Belmare felt very short-lived. I feel you. Like the flashbacks really weren't that crazy.
And I just felt like none of the young versions of the characters, like those actors, were any good. It felt like they really were just like in a rush to find anyone. Because Inaki Godoy as Luffy, fantastic. Koa Osario, and I feel bad, because he's a kid, right? But like it really just felt like they really did not do as intensive of a search for the younger versions.
Think so? I thought they just did decent jobs. I was like, yeah, whatever. It's the kid. I just moved on.
Yeah. I just didn't buy it. I know they got the job technically done, but I just didn't buy it for any of them.
Fair.
But I just didn't like the flashback. That action scene of all of the red hair pirates, fine.
Crazy.
I'm okay with that.
Yasop's a goat, dude.
Sick, right? But who was it? That dude that was instigated all of this, Higumo. That's what it was.
Yeah.
His name was Higumo. I don't even understand why he took Luffy. Like in the manga, I got it because he instigated.
But in this case, it didn't make any sense. No.
Yeah, and then like he was.
No, wait, hon, did he?
Was
no,
far.
Did he not instigate? Because he came back to the bar again, and Luffy talked shit, didn't he? I thought he did.
Yeah, but he was already gone by then. I don't even think Higumo and Luffy interacted once. Until out of nowhere, Higumo decided to take Luffy, which
really?
I still don't understand.
I don't remember him talking.
To be honest with you, I didn't even understand it in the manga, but I definitely
the one in the manga made a lot more sense to me because he was talking a lot of shit about him. It was like, you guys are fucking
to the point of like, I'm gonna take this kid and then fucking rob my boat to like the middle of the sea to do what though? I think for some really illegal activities because that's the only way.
Oh my god, bro! Come on, dude.
No, because honestly, like, and I know like Oda really likes to flirt with like these really insane ideas, especially later on. Like, I still don't get it. I don't understand what makes a grown man be like, I'm gonna take this kid and go in the middle of the ocean.
Well, I think
to do what?
Well, okay, to be fair, I think it does make sense in the manga because he called them mountain apes. He was talking shit on them, and then he was about to kill him with a gun. Like he legit was about to shoot him, and then fucking Shanks showed up, and then what?
You're completely correct. It made more sense in the manga, but I'm just saying that punishment is crazy.
I mean.
Nonetheless,
to be fair, if I was him and the red hair pirate showed up, I'm not fighting them. I'm running away. And the only thing I think is safe for me and Shanks is me getting on the open sea, because you and I both said during the live action, where the fuck did Shanks come from?
Yeah,
he just appeared on that boat, just like, yo.
They were in the middle of nowhere, literally in the ocean.
He was like, yo, Luffy was good. And he's like, I don't see any vessel around us. How'd you get here?
No, not just that. Wasn't Shanks completely dry?
Was he actually, bro?
I could be wrong. Maybe I don't remember. I didn't write it in my notes. But wasn't he completely dry? Like, don't you remember him kind of being dry?
Instant transmission, dude.
But like, which I get it. That's something that like manga Shanks could do probably. But,
live action,
like where did he come from? But the hockey scene, I was looking forward to that so much, and that just did nothing to me.
What I'm about to say, no, the Shanks actor I think killed it. When he said "get lost," he said it in an accent that sounded just like the Japanese VA. Like it's the same accent. Like if you listen to the Japanese when a voice actor when he does it,
right,
it's the same tone and inflection as the English voice actor for the live action. And I was really impressed. I was like, damn, that really did sound like the original fucking clip. Fucking dope.
Dude, honestly, if it disappoints you, then I'm happy. To me, I just felt nothing from it. Like, I just remember watching it and I was like, well, this flashback just sucks. Like, I just couldn't. The only thing that I liked from it was the hat scene. But other than that, I was like, well, the only thing I liked about this flashback also, besides the hat, let me take that back, was how it gets tied into the story in the moment. Like, I like that they were doing that a lot. But man, like, and then Buggy as well, like, it just did not much for me. Like, I don't
Buggy
know,
a lot.
man.
I think he was fine.
Maybe he's fine, but just like that episode, like the one moment to me that really like stood out to me was when Nami ran out. When Nami ran away, she was trying to escape the dudes, and she ran out, and then she saw like what Buggy did to the town.
Yeah.
And then they chased right after her. it got real dark real fast. That's what I really.
You didn't
I was
like
I
the
really
Luffy
like that.
versus, I mean, Zoro versus Buggy fight. I thought it was pretty dope because like the CGI looked amazing. If Buggy actually like a threat.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm not saying that this episode is Dragon Ball Evolution quality.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like out of all the episodes, I feel like it just did the least to me. Like I watched it and I was like, I'm okay if I don't watch that again.
Wow, I actually enjoyed it.
And then I got to move it.
I enjoyed it. I did think I liked how Buggy kept torturing him different ways, like the stretching thing and the water thing. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah.
I did think it was kind of.
I know I'm definitely the minority.
I know.
I don't think a lot of people have the second episode as their least favorite.
I did think it was kind of weird how the entirety of Buggy's crew got off screen. I think that was kind of weird. Like, literally everyone just got off screen, like didn't even happen. Like the lion tamer guy just gone. Like everyone just disappeared. And I was like, that's kind of weird. It's kind of lazy. Like at least have like his two top fucking like crewmates in the same room with him torturing Luffy. I don't know. Like that makes more sense to me. I thought it was weird, but regardless of that, I think it was fine. For me. It was a fine, and I liked Buggy as it was.
There was that one scene of Kabaji, like torturing Zoro, and because like he had a twin brother, which is extra lore, but what lore that no one
I didn't care.
cares.
I honestly forget that character exists like half the fucking time, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's still alive in the manga.
I know, but like now it's cross guild. I mean, like, who gives a fuck?
That's very true. Yeah, I just looked it up. Kabaji is the Buggy Pirates chief of staff.
Chief of staff, bro.
Which I don't get what that means. That's like that sounds very like organizational. That sounds like a business.
Even still though, bro, like chief of staff, he's that high up. That's insane.
Exactly, but yeah. But I'm looking at he's dead in the live action. Zoro, the best. Also, I don't even see. There's only just
one arming him was fucking crazy.
Murdering. Speaking
of murder, I can't believe Mary's dead. That was a wild decision. I kept saying it. I think I said it like 6 times when we were watching. I'm like, guys, Mary's dead.
Yeah.
Like, he's really dead.
Yeah.
Like, Kaya has nobody. When they leave, when Usopp leaves the crew, Kaya has nothing. These pirates came, and in one night, she lost everything close to her, including Usopp.
Yep. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. If Mary at least stayed alive, it'd be a lot different.
Yeah.
But like,
she has nothing.
This was what Mary was like another butler, right? Like
I think she was really close friends with her parents, so it was a little bit different.
But like he actually actually did love her, right? Like he those positive feelings towards Kaya.
Yeah, of course. No, Mary cared about Kaya.
Yeah, that's what I'm
saying. Like it was different than Kuro's. I'm saying like Kuro came later. He was always there from the start, from the jump.
That's
what I'm saying. It's crazy. When I saw that, I was like, really? Like the girl who was on her deathbed now has nothing? That's fuck. Can you imagine being in Kaya's situation, bro? Could you imagine the family that you thought you had all die, including Kuro if you want to consider him still family after his death. They all die. Usopp leaves, and now you're stuck alone in a mansion. I can't fall asleep at night thinking someone's gonna fucking stab me now because Kuro just fucked up my place. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I would hate that. That sounds terrible.
No, you bring up a really good point because I didn't even think of it like that. I
just felt so bad for her.
That's a really good point.
Like, Jesus Christ, brother.
But speaking of Kaya though, humongous upgrade from the manga. This Kaya so much better.
It had so much more going on, yeah.
So much I'm legitimately interested in like one day having like I really need to see like let's see that journey of hers.
Honestly, I really do think Syrup Village in live action was done so much better than the anime. Like I think the Syrup Village in the live action was so much more just fleshed out. Like you really understood Kaya and Usopp's dynamic. Kaya, like you said, was better, had more lines. Like I like Kaya and Nami talking and becoming friends was really nice too. Because it was the beginning of Nami finally putting down some walls, and I was like, damn, I'd like that. That's really human. I think we even said it. We said it when we were watching. Like this just feels human to me.
Also, let's not forget seeing everybody in those black fits.
Oh, that was Zoro's fucking suit, bro. I'm mad he took that off way too fast, bro. They should have kept that on for the entirety of that arc, like that whole episode.
I agree. I kind of wish they did that in the manga too. Everyone just had black.
I'm pretty sure it's based off a manga spread. There was a manga spread I remember seeing of everyone in black, and I remember seeing Luffy in a black vest. So I'm pretty sure it's based off that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every single time that they wore a different outfit, it was like inspired by like one of like the squares or something.
Yeah. Clean.
Which is again a really great decision, and that's just something I think like only Matt Owens or like a really big fan could have like
100%.
put his touch in.
Like, honestly, shout out whoever worked in the wardrobe department and set design. Those people really killed it. I think, dude, the Barretier, oh my god. That shit was clean, bro. That whole set was money, dude. Like
that's what they kept showing.
Yeah,
you know, bro. They kept going back to it
like,
after
we gotta keep
left.
showing this shit. Like you see, right? You see the work we put into this bitch, right? The bar, like that bar where like even Kobe and fucking how Meppel used. I was like, this bar is sick, dude. Fuck me,
dude. Imagine that shit was real,
oh, dude. I would.
Oh my.
That's my weekend spot.
Yeah.